3 a.m. Your eyes suddenly open, no sound, no reason. Yet somehow you're wide awake. And this isn't just tonight. It keeps happening, again and again. People say it's stress, poor sleep, nothing serious. Wrong. Your body isn't weak, your body is trying to speak. And you haven't been listening. Thousands of years of research, ancient Chinese medicine, and modern neuroscience all point to one unsettling truth. Every hour of the night carries a message. And waking up between 3 and 5 a.m., that's not just a random time. It may be the most powerful warning your body can give. People who wake during these hours are often going through something deeper, emotionally, physically, even energetically. And today, I'm going to reveal what your body has been trying to tell you in the silence of the night. The only question is, are you ready to listen? It is the middle of the night. The house is completely quiet. Everyone around you is asleep. And you just woke up. No sound pulled you out. No door slammed. No nightmare shook you awake. One moment you were gone, and the next moment your eyes were open. You look at the clock, 3:17, or 3:42, or 4:10. You shift to the other side. You close your eyes. You tell yourself you will fall back asleep in a few minutes. But sleep does not come. Something is moving inside your mind. Some thought, some weight, some feeling that has no name, but you can feel it sitting there heavy and quiet like it belongs to you. And then morning comes. You wake up exhausted, like the night never happened, like rest never found you. This did not happen once. It did not happen twice. This has been happening over and over again. So many times that you stopped counting. It has become part of your life now. You have accepted it. You have told yourself, maybe I am just a light sleeper. Maybe my routine is off. Maybe this is just what happens as you get older. But I want to stop you right there and ask you something. Have you ever considered that this pattern, this same time, night after night, is not a coincidence? Here's the thing about human nature. When something does not make sense to us, we dismiss it. When something cannot be easily explained, we ignore it. And when something keeps happening with no obvious reason attached to it, we give it a label. We call it a habit. We call it just the way things are. And we move on. That is exactly what you did. You treated this pattern like a problem to be fixed. Some people went to the doctor. Some tried melatonin. Some started putting their phone away before bed. Some switched to herbal tea. Some downloaded sleep tracking apps. And yet, the 3 a.m. wake up never left. Because you were looking for the answer in the wrong place. This is not a sleep problem. This is not a routine problem. It is not the coffee you had at 4 p.m. It is not the screen time before bed. This is your body trying to talk to you. And right here, I want you to pause for just a moment. I want you to be honest with yourself. Think about those times when you wake up in the middle of the night. What is actually happening inside you? Is there a heaviness in your chest? Is there something circling in your mind that will not stop? A relationship? A regret? Something you have been carrying that you never told anyone about? A pain you buried so deep you almost forgot it was there? Most people, when they wake up at that hour, are not feeling panic. What they feel is a kind of weight, a feeling like something is unfinished, like something is sitting between them and peace, like they are hiding something, and even from themselves. And your body, the one that stays busy all day, distracted, surrounded by noise and people and responsibilities, that body finally gets quiet when everyone else falls asleep. And in that quiet, it starts speaking. That is the only time there are no distractions, no noise, no excuses, just you, and the thing you have been avoiding in the daylight. Waking up at 3 a.m. is not weakness. It is not failure. It is the part of you that is still alive, still fighting, still refusing to give up on you, knocking every single night, hoping that one day you will finally open the door. This is a pattern, and every pattern carries a message. Do something right now. Think back to the last time you woke up in the middle of the night. Recall that exact moment. Recall that feeling. Recall that silence that only exists at night when no one else in the house is awake, when the world outside has gone completely still, when it is just you and whatever is living inside your head. Now think, what was actually going on in your mind at that moment? Something was there. Something is always there. Maybe it was a person you could not stop thinking about. Maybe it was a situation that never got resolved. Maybe it was something you needed to say to someone, but never did. Maybe it was a feeling with no name attached to it. Just a heaviness, sitting in your chest like a stone that refuses to move. And what did you do? You rolled over. You picked up your phone. You got a glass of water. You stared at the ceiling for a while. You shut your eyes and told yourself, just go back to sleep. You have things to do tomorrow. But that feeling, it did not leave. This is exactly where most people make the mistake. They treat that moment of waking up as an incident, something that happened and passed, something random, but it was not random at all. It was a signal, and you hit snooze on it and went back to sleep. And that is precisely why it kept coming back, night after night, because you never listened. Let me tell you something that very few people actually understand. The human body is not a machine. It is a system, a living, breathing, feeling system. And this system has its own language. It does not speak in words. It does not send you a message you can read. It speaks in symptoms, in sensations, in patterns that repeat themselves until you finally pay attention. Waking up at a specific time every night, that is part of this language. Think about it this way. Imagine a close friend who calls you every single night at 3 a.m. Every time they call, you reject the call and go back to sleep. Every morning, you forget it happened. Do you think that friend is going to stop calling? No, they will keep calling every night until you finally pick up, until you finally listen. Your body is doing exactly that. And this is not just spiritual thinking. This is not just ancient philosophy. Modern neuroscience says the exact same thing, that our emotional patterns, our unresolved experiences, our suppressed feelings, all of it gets stored in the body, in the muscles, in the organs, in the nervous system itself. And when the distractions of the day finally fall away, all of that starts rising to the surface. When you wake up in the middle of the night, your prefrontal cortex and the part of your brain that manages control, logic, and rational thinking during the day is resting. And when that control center goes quiet, everything you have been suppressing starts coming through. Those emotions you pushed down, those memories you avoided, those unfinished conversations that only ever happen inside your own head. This is not weakness. This is what it means to be human. Now I want you to ask yourself one honest question. No one is listening. It is just you and whatever is true inside you right now. Is there something in your life you have never fully faced? A pain you buried? A relationship where everything looks fine on the outside but does not feel fine on the inside? A dream you quietly gave up on without ever admitting it to yourself? Because most of the time, that 3 a.m. wake up is coming from exactly that place. The place inside you that you have been avoiding. Some things exist beyond the reach of understanding. You cannot prove them. You cannot test them in a laboratory. You cannot point to them and show someone exactly what they are. But they exist. They have always existed. And the people who spend their lives ignoring them do not make those things disappear. They only make their own lives harder. Waking up between 3 and 5 a.m. every night is one of those things. Now let me take you into two completely different worlds. The first world is science, laboratories, research papers, neurons firing, chemical reactions, data sets and clinical trials. The second world is ancient wisdom, thousands of years of careful observation, generations of human experience passed down not through machines but through understanding, through watching, through listening. Most people treat these two worlds like opposites. Like if one is right, the other must be wrong. Like you have to choose a side. But here's what most people miss. Both of these worlds are pointing at the exact same thing, just in different languages. Traditional Chinese medicine discovered something thousands of years ago that the modern world is only now beginning to catch up with. They found that the human body is filled with invisible channels, pathways through which energy moves continuously. These channels are called meridians. They run throughout the entire body like a vast internal network. And through these channels flows something called chi. This is the life force. This is the energy that keeps you alive, keeps your organs functioning, keeps your emotions in some kind of balance. And these meridians do not work randomly. Each meridian has a specific time during the day when it reaches its peak activity. Think of it like a shift system running inside your body around the clock. When a meridian becomes active, it does its work. It detoxifies. It heals. It distributes energy where it is needed. But if that meridian is already troubled, already blocked or overwhelmed, then the moment it activates, you feel it. You wake up, something feels uncomfortable. Something feels off, but you cannot explain why. It feels strange because you are trying to understand it only in physical terms. So now let us talk about science. Modern research has confirmed that our organs follow a specific circadian rhythm. The liver performs its deepest detox work during a particular window at night. The lungs reach their peak respiratory activity at a specific hour. The adrenal glands release cortisol according to a precise internal schedule. All of this runs on an internal biological clock, the result of hundreds of thousands of years of human evolution. Now think about this carefully. Chinese medicine said all of this 3,000 years ago, without a single laboratory, without any equipment, without clinical trials or peer-reviewed journals, only through observation, only through watching human beings closely over generations, only through noticing patterns and taking them seriously. And today, modern science is proving exactly what they said. Do you think that is a coincidence? I do not. That is what happens when something is simply true. Real things get proven over and over again. It does not matter whether you describe it through science or through ancient wisdom. Truth stays truth regardless of the language you use to describe it. Now let us bring this directly to you. Between 3 and 5 a.m., the lung meridian is the one that becomes active. In scientific terms, the lungs are at their peak respiratory function. The body is optimizing oxygen at a deep cellular level. Real biological work is happening. And in the language of Chinese medicine, the lungs are connected to grief, to loss, to everything you are desperately trying to let go of but cannot. Both are talking about the same hour. Both are talking about the same body, just looking at it from different angles. And when science and ancient wisdom arrive at the same place, that is not coincidence. That is truth. I want to say something to you today that is completely straight and honest. And it might feel a little uncomfortable, but I need you to hear it. Really hear it. Because this is the kind of thing most people never allow themselves to fully receive. And that is exactly why they stay stuck in the same place. For years. For decades. Standing completely still while time moves around them. Time is not waiting. That is a simple sentence. But I want you to actually feel it right now. Not just read it. Not just process it intellectually. Feel it in your chest, in this exact moment while you are listening to this. Time is not waiting. Every night that passes is gone forever. Every morning you wake up exhausted is another day you did not live at your full capacity. Every single time you ignore that signal in the middle of the night and roll back over and go to sleep, you move one more day away from yourself, away from the version of you that is still waiting on the other side of all this. And the most dangerous part of all of this is that it happens slowly. So slowly you almost never notice it happening. Think about what occurs when something sudden hits you, an accident, a serious illness, a major loss. You react immediately. You go to the doctor. You reach out for help. You do something. Because when something is sudden and obvious, it forces your attention. It does not give you the option to look away. But when something happens slowly, a little more each day, you do something far more dangerous. You adjust. You quietly lower your expectations of yourself. You tell yourself this is just how things are. You tell yourself everyone feels this way. You tell yourself you are fine, but you are not fine. And your body knows it. That is why it wakes you up every single night. That is why the signal keeps coming. That is why it does not stop no matter how many times you ignore it. Think about a warning light on your car dashboard. The first day it comes on, you tell yourself you will deal with it later. The second day, it is still there. You ignore it again. Third day, fourth day. A week goes by. A month. You get so used to seeing that light that it starts to feel normal. It becomes part of the background. Just another thing you have learned to live with. But the engine did not stop breaking down just because you stopped looking at the light. It kept getting worse, quietly, continuously, every single day. And then one day, the car just stopped. Your body is doing the same thing. It is giving you a warning light every night, at a specific time, for a specific reason. And you have learned to live with the light on. I understand that sitting with this is not easy. I know life is genuinely busy. There is work. There are responsibilities. There is a home to manage, people who depend on you, relationships that need attention. There is always something demanding more from you than you feel you have left to give. But I want to ask you one honest question. If you are not okay, how long can you actually keep holding everything else together? If you are slowly emptying out, what exactly are you going to give the people around you? If this exhaustion, this broken sleep, this weight you carry inside every single day continues for another 5 years, where will you be? That is not a question I should be asking you. That is a question you need to ask yourself, because urgency does not belong to anyone else. Nobody is going to force you to take care of yourself. Nobody can do for you what only you can do. That 3 a.m. wake up is a reminder. That time exists, that it is happening right now, and that it will not always be there waiting for you. Your body does not lie. That is a simple statement. But I want you to sit with it for a moment and go a little deeper than the surface of it. Because this is something most people never truly understand in their entire lives. And because of that one missing piece of understanding, they keep missing things. Important things. Things that could have changed everything for them. Your mind lies to you. I am going to say that directly because it needs to be said. Your conscious mind, the part that thinks, plans, justifies, rationalizes, and searches for excuses, that part misleads you constantly. It tells you that you are fine when you are absolutely not fine. It tells you that things are okay when nothing about the situation is okay. It tells you that you will deal with it later when later is a place that never actually arrives. But your body does none of that. Your body only knows how to tell the truth. When you lie to someone, your heart beats just a little faster. When you do something that goes against what you actually believe in, something drops in your stomach. When you are in a place or around a person where you do not feel safe, your muscles tighten without you making any conscious decision to tighten them. You have not even fully registered what is happening yet, and your body has already recorded it, cataloged it, and filed it away. This is not just a feeling. This is biology. Your nervous system is collecting data every single moment of every single day. Every interaction, every conversation, every experience you move through, every emotion that passes through you, whether you acknowledge it or push it down, all of it gets recorded. During the day when you are busy, when you are moving fast and surrounded by noise and demands, this data accumulates in the background. It gets processed, it gets sorted, but it rarely gets fully released. And at night, when everything finally goes quiet, that processing comes to the surface. This is why waking up at night is not simply a sleep problem. It is the output of your nervous system. It is the data that could not fully process during the day, and now your body is trying to release it. Think about everything you absorb in a single day. Someone says something that genuinely hurts you, and you smile and keep moving. A situation makes you angry, and you swallow it down because this is not the right time or place. Something frightens you, and you stay busy so you do not have to feel it. An emotion surfaces that makes you uncomfortable, and you reach for your phone to make it disappear. None of that went anywhere. All of it is still inside you, stored, sitting quietly, waiting for a moment when you are no longer able to keep it contained. And at night, when your defenses come down, when the distractions run out, when your conscious mind finally rests, all of it starts coming through. The 3 a.m. wake up, the 4 a.m. anxiety that has no clear source, that heavy feeling with no name attached to it, those thoughts that will not slow down no matter how many times you tell them to stop. None of that is weakness. That is your body's credibility showing itself. And learning to understand that credibility, that is the most important work you can do for yourself. Because the moment you start actually listening to what your body is telling you, that is the first moment you begin to truly understand your own life. You start to see clearly where the pain is, where healing is needed, where something remains unresolved, where you have not been fully honest with yourself. Your body already knows all of it. It wakes you up at night for one reason only, so that you can know it too. The only question left is whether you are ready to trust it.